No.
It's lace.
Yeah, that's it, lace now.
If
we could lace Wade as quick as that, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Of the Bishop of the Isle of Man. And he wasn't one bit pleased about his gate being demolished. And after the accident he came out and he wanted to know who was going to pay for his gate. He didn't ask were we alright. And when the marshals picked up all the fiberglass, there was one little piece had an advert on it, automatic gates and security system. So they brought that into him and said if you give him a ring they might fix it for you. And cartwheel down the road 3 times.
So how did this all start?
Wet on the road, and they didn't tell us that it was wet. And after all that, that's the way the bike ended up. So we were left with a couple of wheels and a petrol tank and a radiator. We were doing about 100 miles an hour when this happened.
And when it happened and it lost control, what were you what did you do, and how did the bike react and stuff?
When we lost control, the back of the bike just stepped out to the right, and I locked right to correct it, which I did, and said, oh shit, and then got it straight, and then it just went the opposite way, and we lost control. I hit a bump in the road and the back of it went up in the air, and we were travelling along on the front of the fairing on the sidecar wheel, and I seen this black and white post on the gate and pillar, and I said, oh, this is going to hurt. And next I was cartwheeling through the air, and each time I turned over I hit the ground and the bike landed on my chest, and away we went again. And we stopped about my passenger. He ended up steering himself down the road with his elbow to stay in the middle of the road. He was skiing on his back protector, and we both got up and stumbled in a gate, and the marshal says to me, are you all right? And I said, no. He says, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm in shock. He says, how do you know? I said, I can't stop shaking. And he says, nothing else wrong? I said, yeah, there's something wrong with my hand. He says, how do you know? And I said, I hadn't got a big lump on it like that before. All the bones were dislocated in my wrist. And so then we took us away in the ambulance, and when we got to the hospital they said, we're so busy, do you mind if we put you in a ladies' ward? I said, with the way I'm feeling it won't make any difference. So we were there for 3 days, and then we were let out. That was it. We started collecting money again for this year.
This is Taylor Street in San Francisco, and it has one of my favorite hills in the whole city to jump my motorcycle on. There's something about the angle of the hill and how it drops off suddenly that makes it so perfect for some serious airborne launches and some really smooth re-entries. I used to practice air on it constantly until one day, to my complete surprise, there was this car stopped at the top just sightseeing. I was in midair when I saw it, and when the bike finally came back to the earth, I squeezed it between the cement dividers and the car, narrowly missing both and causing a permanent reminder that is forever burned into my psyche. Next time I'll use a spotter when I jump it and play it safe. If this sounds like a safety commercial for the Knucklehead Foundation, you're right, it is. This next close call I caught on tape while I was shooting a movie about a local motorcycle messenger who races at the Isle of Man in the UK. His name is Wade Boyd, and if there's one thing Wade does really, really well, it's ride a motorcycle. Anyway, so Wade pulls to the light next to this other messenger service, and for some reason the guy decides he's going to race Wade, who's sitting on a 1000cc Interceptor. So anyway, the guy takes off because he's going to show Wade how fast his truck is. So Wade blows him off, but the guy cuts between us and suddenly stops. If you listen closely, you'll hear my front wheel skid as I almost plow into the back of this guy. And what did we all learn from this? Which messenger service to use? Wade's not what you would call your normal everyday biker. Everyday biker? Yes. Normal? I don't think so. The city of San Francisco has put speed bumps on Wade Street because they heard someone was riding wheelies up and down the street. And who would be crazy enough to do a wheelie over a speed bump? This is a film about some motorcycle riders who ride the Coastline Road every Sunday morning outside of San Francisco. The camera's on Wade's bike.
God, that feels good. God, that feels really good. Very snug, very tight. I don't think I'm even gonna pull it out. Oh, all the way in. That's what you call a well-fit piston.